One of Boruto's most popular themes towards the end of part 1, and especially TBV VORTEX, is the existence of higher entities, deities, gods, however you want to call it. Honestly, this has been a thing since the ending of Shippuden, but it's really been the focus of the series later on in Boruto, especially with the introduction of Shibai Otsutsuki and SHINJUTSU. Now, today I want to talk about this topic not only because I want you all to be aware and understand it, but also because the story is about to hit us with a crazy unexpected twist, and I don't think many people really understand the impact this may have on the story going forward. But hey, before we hop into the video, I just wanted to ask you guys and gals to drop a quick like on the video. It hasn't been that long since we hit 10,000 subscribers, and honestly, we're about to hit 11,000 very soon. But for that to happen, we gotta push these videos out into the algorithm, and to do that, we gotta spam the video with likes. I don't mean to sound too pushy, but if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, on to the video. So Boruto, ever since he was a kid, has never been a quote-unquote normal kid. And no, I don't mean being the son of the 7th Hokage or even a prodigy. Since before he was born, Boruto has been linked to the gods of this world, more notably in the anime. Even before he graduated from the academy, they didn't fail to show us how Boruto was not a normal kid. The JOUGAN is probably the first thing you're thinking about, and you thought right. Since episode 1 and chapter 1 of the series, we've seen that Boruto has some sort of special power residing in his eye. Now, regarding the speculation behind this whole mystery, whether that eye that's being shown in the manga is the JOUGAN or not, is still up for debate for some fans. Some fans believe it's the JOUGAN, some fans may believe it's a regular Byakugan, but either way, the point still stands. Boruto at some point will gain a power that he didn't always have. Like I said, in the anime, we're given a better representation of how Boruto is linked to extraterrestrial civilization, and the person that's at the forefront of this statement is Tonari Otsutsuki. We briefly look back at the conversation he had with Urashiki, and he's basically angry that Tonari has betrayed the clan because of his decision to protect Earth. He states that the clan knows what he's done to that woman's child, and we know that the woman that he's talking about is Hinata, because after, he actually talks about Boruto's prophecy and more importantly, the power of his JOUGAN awakening. Albeit, he said it won't be awakening for some time, but nonetheless, because of this, Boruto has ties to the Otsutsuki even before he was bestowed a karma seal from Momoshiki. He even brought up that Boruto has already heavily inherited the genes of the Otsutsuki before he placed the karma on him. And this could be one of the factors of why he saw Boruto as the perfect vessel. So Boruto has connections to the gods of the Naruto verse, and this connection is visually manifested in the form of the JOUGAN. At the current moment, we don't know exactly what the JOUGAN is or where it originated from, but the prime suspect in this big mystery is Shibai Otsutsuki. Shibai was brought up into the story mainly as a plot device to introduce Shinjutsu into the story, and this introduction was to further explain Ada, Damon, Kawaki, and Code's abilities, and to be blunt, just really make it make sense. But you'll be a fool to believe that was Shibai's only role in the story. He will play a heavy role in the series very soon, or rather, he's already playing a role in the story behind the scenes. In chapter 13 of the TIMESKIP, the story officially introduced timelines into the main plot. KASHIN KOJI, who previously worked directly under JIGEN as a member of the Kara in order to defeat him, has awoken a Shinjutsu. The Shinjutsu is called Prescience. This power allows him to see into the future. In doing this, he can see multiple outcomes for multiple futures. As he explained before, the future isn't just one straight path. There's many multi-forked crossroads that can be snuffed out based on the narrative of that timeline. And each future has a set percentage of taking place. Some are extremely high, meaning it's very likely to happen, and some are lower. Each action that's took can lead you towards one of the more likely or unlikely outcomes. And believe it or not, some futures are set in stone because of a certain action that's been took. Similar to the situation that Boruto's in right now fighting against JURA. But of course we'll get into that a little later. First, let's talk about Boruto's fate. In this chapter, KASHIN KOJI informed Boruto that he's avoided death one other time leading up to this point. He stated that in this moment, one of the futures that he's seen was a future where Kawaki had managed to kill Boruto and Sarada, who tried to get in the middle of this quarrel. So because Boruto died, Kawaki and him would have never switched lives, and Kawaki would get pummeled by Code, which would lead to the end of the planet. As much I would like to go over all the different outcomes for the different futures that Koji told us about, let's try and keep it on the main topic of Boruto avoiding death. So by technicality, that was the first quote-unquote death that Boruto avoided. And that got me thinking of the time where Boruto actually died. Even though it was briefly, he still was in a state of being dead until Momoshiki resuscitated him to bring him back to life. I guess that was the first time you can say Boruto cheated death. Of course, there's the time when JURA sniped Boruto in the chest, but he lived through the attack because he missed his vitals. Had it not been for Momoshiki intervening, JURA would have just finished Boruto off. There was nobody that could stop him, and Boruto was already in a vulnerable state. He couldn't avoid that second Bijudama that JURA was about to fire. So he got bailed out heavily. Then he goes on and says the old infamous line, "It's almost as if the heavens are decreeing that you remain alive." Well, basically this whole panel right here has caught my attention, not just that one statement. Even the part where he said it seemed like some sort of divine intervention. Since JURA said this, it's only been getting worse. Koji has stated multiple times to Boruto that if anyone would be the one to kill him, it's definitely JURA. JURA will kill Boruto if he's not careful. This is the whole reason he's been extra careful with Boruto's movements. He's actively after Boruto in order to kill him. And this brings me back to the point before, as soon as Boruto went and saved Konohamaru, he forfeited his life. Koji even stated that Boruto can't win with the current sequence of events, so he's finished. Boruto is done for. This is where he will die. So this one action that Boruto took has set him on course to a future that should result in his death. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? Well, that's exactly what we're gonna find out next chapter. So that's more of a reason why I'm so hyped about it. And also the fighting, and what Boruto or JURA might pull out their bag in order to come out this battle victorious. But regarding Boruto's death, it's more of the logic that Boruto's the main character. So of course he's not gonna die, right? And with that being said, there's a chance he does actually die, but there's also a chance he doesn't. And if he doesn't die, then I think it has something to do with a higher power. The truth is, Boruto's been protected from death for quite a while now. It's almost like it's divine intervention, like JURA said. I mean, in the same chapter that Koji confirmed Boruto was gonna die by JURA, he missed another Biju Bomb sniper shot. Now either JURA just got horrible aim, or something is off here. Why does it seem like every time Boruto's in a hostile situation, luck appears to be on his side? Every single time. And don't just give me surface level answers like plot armor or anything. Let's really dive into this. I just gave you another instance of Boruto cheating death. Although it's not as evident as the others, it's still very suspicious. This phenomenon that's happening to Boruto has been reoccurring too many times to be considered coincidences. I think we're a little bit past that now. Right now, I'm thinking miracles. If this theory actually has some merit to it, this would be a perfect time for the manga to do what the anime already did and give us a well thought out background of Boruto's link to the Otsutsuki. The Otsutsuki's power, or more known as Shinjutsu, is widely known to manifest miracles, meaning the reason Boruto could be cheating death is because of the power of another Otsutsuki, or Shinjutsu. One of the most powerful Shinjutsu in existence is known as Omnipotence. That power is the whole reason Boruto and Kawaki now have swapped lives. Boruto's the no-good rogue ninja who killed Naruto and Hinata, and Kawaki is the victim who almost died at the hands of Boruto. The ability is able to rewrite reality based off one's own personal desires. It can rewrite memories, or even cause a phenomenon to occur that would result in a certain change in that outcome. Momoshiki stated that many Otsutsuki who had previously became gods have probably manipulated humankind's memories. And if you are to become a god, like Shibai, you've ascended to a plane of existence where a physical body isn't necessary. Meaning they still exist, they're still alive, but they're not in this realm of existence anymore. Because Omnipotence changes one's subconscious, it can also affect physical actions. For example, if someone's subconscious desires a specific action, Omnipotence might make that action physically happen, even if it was previously impossible. The limitations of Omnipotence is still unknown, but the concept of Omnipotence itself is limitless. It could very well turn out that these miracles that Boruto is experiencing are works of gods. A god that could be trying to communicate with Boruto through these miracles. And it doesn't even have to be Shibai. It could just be the power of the JOUGAN itself that is manifesting these miracles. But the origins of the JOUGAN has to do heavily with Shibai Otsutsuki. So by that logic, it all tracks back to Shibai. Or maybe this phenomena has more to do with Tonari, the one who previously set this Star of Hope prophecy onto Boruto. No matter who or what it is that's causing this, next chapter is when this theory will be confirmed or not. If Boruto somehow avoids death, then some outside force is causing this. The only thing that could overpower prescience is another Shinjutsu. Like I said, the Otsutsuki power grants miracles, so nothing else but divine intervention is at work if Boruto survives. So if he lives, let me know how you think he will survive down below in the comment section. Will someone come save him? Will he use flying Raijin to escape? Will KASHIN KOJI step in and sacrifice himself to keep Boruto alive? This was a long awaited video. I'm glad I got it done. I always wanted to talk about this, mostly because I haven't heard a lot of other content creators talk about it. And as important as it is to the future of the story, this theory needs to be out to the public. So as always, if you enjoyed this video and wouldn't mind seeing more like this in the future, I'm gonna need y'all to do the following. Drop that like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.